Alright, welcome back to Map Gaming. We are here following Ritka. I think that's how you say that. Anyway, we're just going to follow him all the way down over here, where we are going to explain a few other builds that we have going on. I thought this was a interesting way to like kind of start the episode and kind of figure out what's what. We have him taking more corn over here to become rations. Very useful, very helpful. Anyway, so we have it's coming in, and I guess it'd be easier to show you. So I've decided to come in here and do this. I am going to add one more little tidbit right here. And so I've decided that, let's back up and kind of get a little bit of perspective here. Let me get in the right frame of mind. Anyway, so I'm going to drill a hole right here that we're going to have a staircase coming off here. I'm going to put, oh, I can't do that. Yeah, that should work. Anyway, we'll see how well this works. There'll be, this is mainly for the power, so we can have the power come in right here. So it's more of a need coming in right here, but we're going to bury this, walk path. Then I came in and I was like, you know what, it'd be really useful if we had more storage, especially like our smaller like wood, fairy logs, all that kind of stuff. I felt like that would help us out, especially getting into some of these later builds. I did come in and turn on all of our pods, so all of those are moving. We are making more beavers because I feel like at this current point in time it is exceedingly necessary to do that because we're running out of not space, but workers. So we're needing to kind of come over and fix that situation. Yeah, we should be fine with that. I'm still, maybe if I put these at a higher priority, we can get those taken care of, so that way then we can put TNT here, get this all settled, taken care of, and then we can eventually blast this area. We do have a lot of builds going on, so I can understand why we are a little bit hesitant on doing some other things, because we do have a lot going on. We have a lot of builds being made. We have all kinds of beavers going all different directions and what have you to get a lot of things built. So trying to get more storage. I came in here, I think this was at the end of the last episode, we added this platform. These are going to be water storages. I added this one before we started, which is going to be water or oil, my bad, just to give people to collect a little bit more, so we have more being in useful resources. And then I have this, which is eggplant, and then this one, which is corn, so we can actually use, so we're actually like picking what we're growing, you know, because I feel like we have a lot of I might need to make a space for the soybeans, because I feel like we're kind of starting to hoard these a little bit. The water obviously took a dip, and that was kind of to be expected, just for the simple fact of we're filling these up. We also made everything a little bit bigger. Oh, I don't think I can do this one now. Alright, we're gonna delete that. And well, I totally forgot they have to be at eye level for that, so we're gonna have to, I'm gonna put this at normal speed or whatever, and we'll leave it to be destroyed. But yeah, we're gonna have problems with that because we're gonna have to get down here and eye level that one along with everything else. But everything's not looking too terribly bad here. We almost have our wall built, which that will help us out a lot. Oh, we didn't run out of water. We just ran out of... That was the problem. Alright. Not that that's necessarily a problem. We still, like, we lost about 3k worth of water, but we should be able to regain that in no time flat. Especially with all of our, pumps that we got. We got, what? 6, 7... 13... 14, 15, 16, 17, 18... 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. We almost have 30 pumps, so there should be no reason why we don't actually get this going. We'll make that auto. And that's also auto. Actually, I think this one has to stay. No, we'll make that auto. And then that should stop this right here, which would then back up into here. Let's get out. Okay, so we are getting water in this area, even with both of these flowing. It'll be interesting to see what happens when this one closed. We're gonna have a little bit of flooding here. This one closed. We should probably go down to 0.8 on that. Why is that? That's probably why this was open. Let's get in this, and then we'll just open that. Now balance that one out. You're gonna have to give it a second to kind of get out of the third time speed or whatever, but that should balance out no problem. Maybe not. I'm almost kind of wondering is if it's... That's closed. That's open. Everything's flowing downstream the way it should. Alright, we'll let that go. See how that works out. We are obviously collecting a butt ton of water right here, which is nice and good and useful. Do we have these things going? We do. Alright, how are we doing? Okay, we are... Amount of open jobs is going down, which is quite nice. We're holding a lot of water. Man, we have a lot of water. Look at that. And we're back to that. That's good. Okay, why? I'm actually about to... What if we close this? Give that a second to flow. There we go. A little bit of an outburst, but what if we just open that? That one's also open. I think that'll work. Maybe not. Let's close this one again. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to close this to get most of this to drain out. And once this drains out, I feel like we should be able to reset. Oh, that would do it. That's our problem right there. Alright, let's reopen this. And then everything should flow out the way it needs to. Alright, we're going to put a high priority on this, and then the next time we go into like a bad cycle or whatever, we'll come in and we'll fix this stand, because that's our current problem right now. Holy cow. We must have had a lot of beavers just kick the bucket. Because we were at 11. Alright, algae's almost full. Nothing in mushrooms. Mangrove fruit apparently is very delicious. Alright, what can we do? I think we can come over here and provide a big boom. That is actually looking very spectacular. Let's detonate all this. Then we can destroy this one. And then those are 3s, so let's add 3s here. There we go. Okay, we can do this. And okay, now we're starting to get more unemployed beavers. Oh, it's doing it again. Why is this messing up so badly? Maybe it's that. These are open. At this current point in time, I'm feeling like we're gonna have to end up fixing this anyway. Alright, drought approaching. Alright, yeah, I'm just gonna have to babysit this. Alright, let's get that going. And then I'm actually going to do sluices this whole way across. And we're going to high priority all of this. Let's see how well this works. Because there shouldn't be anything. Nope. Yeah, we're gonna have to. I don't even know. We're just gonna have to baby it. We haven't been able to pump our full load yet, which is kind of unfortunate. That's full. Those are full. We're still working on those. This one should be... Nope, that's not what I want. We're working on it. These are all full. Still waiting on those to be full. Oh, problems. So I think it would be in our best interest. One, if we could get this going. And I hate sitting here just opening and closing this, but I really don't have any options. At least until this gets fixed, because then this can shoot this off this way. We might as well, because what we're going to end up doing is if we put a 3 here, 3 here, and a 3 there, that's 1, 2, they'll bring it down to here. The other one, it'll bring it up to here. That'll work. So I'm going to try to open this up just a little bit and then put another sluice in right here, so then we have like triple or double the flow going. And that'll help us out as far as that is concerned, getting all of that going. What did I put up here? I put logs. Alright, yep. We gotta keep the log intake going so we can make sure that we're doing all that. We still have 19 vacancies. Our population's going up though, so there's the bonus. And let's kind of give that a medium priority just so that we can get ease kind of this going out of the way. And then I also came over here just so that we can start clearing out these trees, get to these ruins, because we're about to get at a point where I'm going to need to get into the middle of all this and get the ruins factory going. I'm going to go ahead and unlock this anyway, because we're going to need it. That is for dang certain. And then we can build a path off of this. Oh no, we're gonna have to destroy this one. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. Let me come in here. Another building assignment. Let's get this. Oh. Something like that. Yeah, there we go. So we'll build something like this. And I'll get it high enough. And we might even end up moving this one over. Oh, no, 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 no. And then let's come in over here because we're going to need building, whatever. Got that out. And then we'll wait to destroy all of this until this is kind of built, so we have somewhat of a foundation to then put everything on. Alright, so we got that going. Don't have an excess of beavers yet, which is nice. We're almost done with this, but the drought has started, so we might as well focus. We can open that up. I don't know how much is going to pour out of here, but we'll have a little bit of extra coming out. Wonder if that like saturates the rock. Oh, that didn't last long. But anyway, this should now work the way it's supposed to. And all those are open the way they need to, so we're good there. And then if we need to, we can open this one up and make another corn rations one. I don't think our water went up too bad. We should be at like 11.6-ish, maybe 11.8 with water. Oh, we have that one too. Alright, there we go. That doesn't really use a whole lot, so we're good there then. Alright, how big is that hole? Not too bad. We can start building any of this stuff. And just while we're in this menu, let's just kind of make sure we add pathways. And then we'll work that one down. That should be able to be another, like I said at the end of the last video, that can be another tree factory. Or not a tree factory, a tree farm. I think our builders are focused on this right now. Which kind of sucks because we're building this the slowest way possible. Max storage of blueberries. We're working on the maximum number of wood or dirt. My bad, dirt. I think we got that built. It's only a pity that we got that built a little too late, so I don't think we're going to be able to reap the benefits from that this episode. But we should be able to focus on a bunch of TNT things and get those looking good, especially with everything that we're building. I don't know if I want to do that, because this is maxed out. Let's get that one going, so at least we get the farmers going, and then we can get that going as well. We'll put a oh wait. Alright, we're gonna pause this. I don't know why it has to do that, but and that should do it. Alright, cool. Let's also Medium, prioritize those. Get those going. What else can we get going? We'll max this out, and that's for like a future thing, so we're not necessarily needing that at this current point in time, but that'll be important in the later stuff. And just having this stuff built, just helping the builders kind of direct where we want them to be. Oh, I do want these so we can start getting some of that going, because I want to get to the point where we're able to think. Actually, I'm gonna make, oh, it doesn't matter, I can't do anything with that one because this, that's the plants. That one can be gears though. And the only reason why I say that is because I'm getting closer and closer to this, but what I want to do is I want to make sure that we're like, with all of the stuff that we have going for us, we're able to kind of just get close to building this off the bat. And that's kind of also why. And the other down here, I'm starting this so that where's the metal at? There. How much is that? We'll build that one first. Yeah, once we get this whole circle built, I'm gonna put that at a lower priority. I don't want them building that just yet. Are we able to get... That goes down there. Oh, so we are. Alright, we're about to demolish most of this, so let's go down. If we went down one, we'd want to go down two. Yeah, we're gonna max this out. Just like that. We're gonna destroy this whole ring, drop it down 2, and then that way we'll be able to have a large part of the underground area being outfitted for bad tide. So we are going through a massive amount of TNT and wood. Alright, that's going again. Oh man, there's not a whole lot for me to do in a bad tide. Alright, we're gonna cut away and I'll be right back. Alright, welcome back. We are just chilling with, I guess, ourselves. So, we have jumped, I want to say it's about 2 cycles. We are in the process of trying to, like, clear all the bad water out because I just let it, like, I had to get it out of this mountain to get that situated so we actually had water. As you can tell, we dropped quite a substantial amount. Our max water capacity, I wonder if this says it. Okay, our max water capacity is 15,000. We're at 9,000. So you can kind of tell what we just went through. The second drought that we went through was a 30, or it wasn't a drought, it was a bad tide. It was a 30-day bad tide. So the fact that we lasted and only dropped to 9K is, I think, quite impressive. We should be able to bounce back. Obviously, there are some new buildings and some new designs and whatnot. One of them being we finally got this up and going. So we do have a metalworks area, and this is going to be kind of where we draw workers from and put workers back into. Did we do anything over here? Yes, we flattened the little peak up. I got trees going because obviously we are struggling hardcore for trees. So I was like, we need trees in a massive way. Okay, we're flooding. That was the issue. All right, so that should fix itself relatively quickly. Obviously our engines are suffering because we do not have the tree capacity to keep everything going. I keep adding to it, and obviously it's a problem. So we're going to start off with the first things first. We're going to destroy this. Boom, 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 boom. Very nice. Now we have more of a drop, and then we can work on this section in a second. Let's also click on the TNT. We'll go in the middle. Ooh, that was cool. Did we see that? That was a cool ripple effect. All right, so we got extra water. I'm really hoping that this kind of starts flowing out a little bit easier or better or whatever. It'll take a second, but we should be all right with that. I did come in and I did delete the tunnel, so now we're free to go to build, I don't even know, something spectacular. I'm going with water storage. Our dirt was a problem. We had too much of it, so my thinking was let's make the top of this mountain a little bit bigger, add more oaks up here. Obviously this is a work in progress, so there's that. They did end up finishing in the drought time this, but obviously due to cutbacks and whatnot, we were kind of behind the 8 ball. So that's what that looks like, in case anyone hasn't seen it. Pretty cool. Beaver with a Rubik's Cube that, you know, shifts and all that other stuff. So cool. I haven't done this one yet just because, I mean, we got other things that we got to deal with. And then we also finished this. So I feel like it's fair we start from one end and go to the other. And that will give us kind of the extra room that we need, and it also makes it easier for when we do have water in here. It will flow over here, come across into here, and hopefully I did this right so it doesn't make too much of a problem. And then the next thing that we will do eventually is we will come into here to this first circle, as long as nothing's touching it, and we will fill that up. I don't think that this will affect everything, but you never know. So this is kind of how this is going to look. Somewhat of a mini galaxy thing that we got going on here. I mean, to me this build looks pretty legit the way it is. So we have continued building this. We obviously got kind of a backward C going on here, which is all right with me. I'm not too worried about this because we have the other one going, and obviously that's not something that we really like severely need, you know what I mean? So like I'm okay with this kind of just being like we work on it when we got a chance. Obviously I would like to get our wood back up, and that's kind of the reason why I planted a butt ton of what I plant pines, just to get that going so we can have trees to draw from. And even throughout all of that, this never went to like a bad tide, or like, or not bad tide, but dying because of a drought. So with all our water, that worked out pretty nicely. This does a very interesting, like, you can kind of see how this one is like, see how it goes, except for imagine this over a large thing. And that's probably my computer going, I need help with how many beavers we got, because we're going up. So my little thing does a cool little, I don't even know what you would call that, but now that we've added this extra ring, we should have a buttload of bad water that we can sit here, because like we're not even almost up here. Like, I mean, we're close, but like I've been talking this whole, not this whole time, but most of this time, and we are still trying to get all the way up here. So this gives us a buttload of extra bad water to draw from, which is going to be nice, and it's going to be very beneficial to the beavers. Obviously we don't need a whole lot of bad water, and I don't know, oh, that was probably from the spillage. That was probably what that was from, now that I'm thinking about that. That was from when I released the bad water. So there's that. I don't have a whole lot of confidence in this little setup. We might, I don't even know. I might have to come in and do some thinking, or maybe save the, I don't know. I've had problems with saving files. So like I'll save, like I could save this one as the iron teeth or whatever I've called this, iron tails or something. I don't know. I've called it something, and I can come in, save another file, but it'll still save under this map. So I'm not 100% sure on how I can fix that, but that's kind of the issue, because I tried that with my folktales, and that was the issue there. So enough of my problems. Oh, and we got another bad tide approaching. How thoughtful. Is it in this? No, it's in this one. Oh, oh, don't do those. I'm always scared. I don't know if anybody else has this problem, but I'm always scared when like I misplace something that they're immediately going to put it there, and that's usually rarely ever the case. So, but it is one of my fears. But anyway, I came in and I found out that you can actually put dirt paths on platforms, which is very beneficial, because then you're able to have pathways underneath of it and all that other fun stuff, and then it works out very, very nicely for everyone involved. So I did do that in some areas, and other areas I was just like, you know what, we need to kill the dirt blocks, and so I just let it be what it was. But in places where I was like, you know what, it would probably be beneficial to have our pathways there, so we're able to actually move about in some degree. I left them there. So I'm gonna get back to kind of finishing this, and trust me, we got the dirt for this. We got more than enough dirt. It's the wood that is the problem. There we go. And we might as well add this little piece because we built it. But anyway, in doing this is going to greatly enlarge our tree farm, especially our oak farm, because this one does such a nice job for us. And I thought, like I said, I was struggling with, do we dig down? Do we build up? Do we, what do we do here? And this is kind of what I landed with. And like I said, this looks nice to me. It works. It's efficient. And it makes it look a little bit better. And then we're also going to come over here, probably going to put a platform down, we'll build up, and then we'll keep going, and we might make a nice little like overhang over here. But for the time being, our next project that I'm going to be kind of focusing on is making this a reservoir. So we're going to start with this foundation, and we're going to build up and kind of use this as a reservoir to kind of continue to feed this. Oh man, it's not what I wanted. I mean, I did want that, but I did not. I wanted it right there. I didn't realize I was in the gatekeeper way or whatever. So we'll get that fixed. I can't go much higher on this yet until we start building up. And obviously that's going to be a project and a half, especially with like us having such a low wood reserve. And that's why I've kind of been trying really hard to like build and expand our empire, because at one point I had 30 beavers over here that weren't doing anything. So I started not building, but I started building a bunch of trees. I started doing a whole bunch of mess just to kind of get that to where, like I said, we had trees to demolish and all that fun stuff. And we can probably pause you. I don't know where you're going to go, but... And then we can pause you. But yeah, I went full bore on building. Like I said, we can hold about 1,200 or 1,500 water, 15,000 water, not 1,500, but 15,000 things of water. So we are definitely making a lot of headway here, especially with what we can contribute. I really wish all this stuff would go blue, but it is what it is. And then this actually is a very useful thing to us, because for the 30 days, I want to say around day 15, it lasted about halfway, maybe day 12. We had 12 days left of the bad tide. We still had water here. So, like I said, that was a huge help. I have to go around and make sure all my things are on the gears, because like I said, before we started recording again, I reopened it up and made sure that it was yeah. So we'll get this going. This will I'll probably leave this playing for a minute once we end this episode, just to kind of get this going, so we have these trees available to us, because these take quite a bit. 30 days to get 8 logs. This isn't necessarily ideal for us, but it is what it is. And then obviously we have all this. Now that I've started recording, what could be an interesting ploy for us is basically cutting off this top part. Yeah, cutting off this top part, and then we could actually go down 2. So this be 3 TNT, this one be a 2 TNT. Drop this down, and then we can make this another tree grove. And then we might actually have to dig down deep to kind of get some of this green, or add like another water dispensary, because we did that here, and that pretty much kept this general corner wet, so that was beneficial. What else? I think we're honestly right now just waiting for the ball to drop and getting like a bunch more trees, so we're able to actually do what we need to do. But good news is this works. So we're able to just use this one to funnel everything out. It doesn't, I don't know about, like, it probably will make this red, and we'll kind of have to figure that out, but as far as I can tell at this current point in time, It doesn't affect anything else. It stays where it needs to. It doesn't overflow, and it flows out here without having any of these other ones overflow. Our only problem now is we need to get into here to drop this off, so we're able to have these two connect, because right now this is just a puddle. I mean, it's bigger than a puddle, but you get what I'm saying. This looks pretty good. We did have a beaver die in the process of making this. It was very tragic. The only thing that I can assume happened is he went up the staircase, came over here, and then built a tube, and then one of his buddies came behind him, or maybe he built both of them. I'm not really quite sure, but he got trapped right here, and I was like, dude, there's literally nothing I can do to help you, because this is a platform, and it's not like, it's just so I can get the right terminology, it's an overhang. So if I deleted it, like I was deleting everything, and it, like I said, that was not going to happen. We didn't reach in the good tide, we didn't reach our max potential as far as 15, but we have enough water on this map that we will definitely hit that 15k. What we have left is a different story, but like I said, we have this, which pretty much will probably last about day 12-ish until this part runs out, and then we'll get these guys kind of pumping once this drops. I'll probably just play this guy just so... Holy cow. Yeah, our baby booms are definitely a problem. But I'm gonna let this one ride because we got 16 that are injured or using this crud right here, so that's more of that problem. I am gonna pause this just so we don't have to deal with the extra paperweight of trying to make the cube move around and dance for us, because in all honesty, we don't need it. We have about 4 beavers right here. Drawing from this metal, how effective that is, I don't really know, because like I said, we got this thing going, and I don't even think these beavers are working at this current point in time, because we have so much metal. So I'm gonna go down to just 2, have them fill out that a little bit, and then once our population kind of bounces back, we'll be all right. I think that covers pretty much about all I had as far as building models go. We might as well destroy this, and we can do this in a more effective way. Because there really is no reason for us to kind of protect this area, especially when we're looking to in the future get this fully stocked up to where, I mean, maybe one day, I don't really see it happening, but maybe one day we'll have this kind of at that level. One, we need to get this tree thing underway. Like I said, I keep building stuff and I can't help it. It's part of me. I need to build. I need to help make these beavers' lives that much more enjoyable. And we've done a pretty good job. I had to add 3 extra houses. That was a dilemma and a half. I'm not even gonna lie about that. Trying to add it here, and then I was like, well, do I delete the TNT and add it down here? And I was like, you know what, it'll go greatly right here. It's a nice vantage point, right? Like, you get to kind of look at all that is, like, look at that. That's not a bad view. You got kind of, hold on, let's make sure we open it up. But that's not a bad view. You got kind of a little bit of build. Over here is not too bad to look at. You got kind of that, but like your basic views, this. That's kind of an eyesore, but that's cool. You know? We got kind of, you got a waterfall to look at. A red one. A lot of people pay money for that. This one's not bad because you can kind of see over here in the distance. Boom. Anyway, we'll delete that because we don't need that anymore. But this one, these are bad views because either you're staring off a cliff into the abyss, or you got this nice view where, I mean, this isn't bad, especially if you're in this corner lot. Look at that. You can see this guy. You got a little bit of trees. You got, once again, this eyesore, and it isn't going to get better once we start building up here. But that's not a bad view. It's a relaxing view. I mean, we could build up here to make it more blocked off, but anyway, you get what I'm saying. And then this is kind of what I've been talking about, is it will do this a lot. Maybe that has something to do with it's over watered. I'm not even really quite sure, but it is what it is. We're almost at our max capacity and we still got a lot of water to drain over here. Did I make sure all of this is cuttable? It is cuttable, but we don't have any beavers. We don't have any beavers cutting down. Why aren't you guys cutting this down? You guys can reach it. Interesting. Alright. Maybe they're just drinking their coffee. Who knows? Coffee is a very important thing. We do not have coffee on this place. That might need to be remedied. Where would we put coffee is a whole different ballgame. Because we are definitely running out of landscape over here. I mean, we could try to put coffee over here. I mean, it'd work out well with this. We might as well get all that going. Oh my gosh, I'm so flustered. Alright, so let's get this kind of built up so then we can come up over here and start taking care of some of this. There we go. These beavers know what they're doing. Alright, at least we got a pathway and we're taking care of some business. Once we get up here, we'll add the TNT and then we'll add a large amount of TNT and drop this. We need to drop this one. If we drop this one, then we shouldn't have to build anything, and then we can do a coffee farm right here. And that'll work out nicely. Oh, look, our wood is starting to bounce back. We can do it, ladies and gentlemen. We can do it. Obviously, we're building up a lot of stuff over here. All right, so my plan is to get enough of this mumbo jumbo filled up to where when we come in and decide to do this, we aren't at a deficit. And so that's kind of what I'm trying really hard to do. At least the gears and the ferry logs. If I can get to like roughly 1,000 ferry logs and roughly 1,000 things of metal, then we can be in a different place. But I want my wood to bounce back first because we need that. That was definitely a struggle because we had hit this number and then we go boom all over again. So the fact that we're making a comeback, I am super stoked about. Keep forgetting where this stuff's at. Alright, let's get you two. I want you two built before all of this, so that we can come in and just straight up do that. And then once again, we have all that, so that should be good. This is looking really nice. And this is getting much bigger, which is good because then these guys can dig, because we have been using a buttload. At one point, I think we almost had 3K. No, we had 900 plus whatever these could hold. So a little under 100. So like we're pretty close to 1K of stored dirt. Yeah, we'll get all that going. Did we demolish all this? Yes, we did. All right, let's go. We dropped down one. All right, I think we should only need one, but we'll see how this goes. And we'll start off there. I'm actually going to delete that one so that we can come over here and actually get up here. Just like that. And we'll put that on high priority. But yeah, I'm going to give it a minute, and I want, see, we've been building this, and like I said, I'm not necessarily worried about this. I'm going to pause this just for the time being because I don't need them building another one. That would just be terrible. But we will open this back up. Yeah, I don't even know. I think making, well, it's not like the water gets contaminated, so we're good there. At least from that aspect, but yeah. Trying to figure out how to get the water into here and then back out is our, like, that's my main problem right now, and that's going to be such a difficult problem to overcome with, because I feel like every time I try to do this, we end up with like one of these builds where it's like huge, big, blah, 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 all that extra mumbo jumbo. And it makes me wonder if we actually needed to go that big, or if we could have just like circumvented it, but it is what it is. Like it'll buff itself out eventually. We're learning. That's the important thing. We're learning how to survive on hard mode. You're probably not taking a whole lot away from it, but I mean, we're playing with some newish mechanics, because like, I mean, we're in episode 22-ish, somewhere in there. I think this is episode 22. We're in episode 22, so and I mean, if you really want to think about it, technically this is like episode 50, because with the folktales we're on hard mode. With these guys we're also on hard mode. The stuff we learned from our first attempt at hard mode with Iron Teeth was we needed these things. We got those, and then now we're, obviously, look at us. We are thriving. We have so much that we have going on. We have more, unfortunately, we have more of these engines than I'd truly care to actually want. But needless to say, we have them. We're using them. It works. It's definitely moving. And I feel like for the most part we have a bunch of long bad tides and droughts. The droughts aren't as bad because everything's able to like pretty much restart on command, and it's a very easy thing to just, okay, we're going again. But these bad tides, man, it takes us a minute to bounce back because we got bad sludge all over the place. And like when I open these sluices up, like it literally bubbles up to right about here. Like If I'd probably have to put these on top of it, but like it bubbles out and literally like this side isn't so bad, but this side it's bad. And then that's why there's so much bad water over here, because if we take a look, there's still bad water over there. And this one, it doesn't stay. This one, it doesn't stay as long because we have the exit for it over here. We're able to flow this out. This closes off, and probably need to go above here and make sure all those are ticked, just for when we get to that point. So that way we don't have to worry about all this stupid stuff. But yeah, we cleared out this metal bin. We still have metal in here, but we cleared this ruins out, so that's why that's still there. But then I added trees because, like I said, trying to get our tree log population back up and being able to be sustainable. Sounds right. But yeah, as I was like waiting for the last bad tide to end, I was looking at this and I was just like, man, we have done so much work. Like, we got algae farms over here, which I thought I'd never do just because like the amount of water they take, but we have algae. We actually have algae as a food. Like, look at that. We are maxed out on those. Now the trees, those are a work in progress, and I don't know if that's because it's a new fruit or because we don't have enough of it, or maybe because we don't have beavers actually picking the dang stuff. Mangrove fruit. Yeah, that would make sense. So for the last couple of minutes, or since this has been fully going, we've just basically been planting. We haven't even been picking this grove. That's just been there. We'll pause those just so when we need, like, if any of these trees die, we've taken precautions, so like that shouldn't happen, but you never know. We can bring those back if need be. But yeah, I was blown away by, like, there's a river here. We know that, but like there's a river under here. Water flows under all of this. Like, this is very much like, was it there's like the bayou in Louisiana. Like, they're like, what lake? We'll build on top of that thing. Obviously this isn't a lake, but you get what I'm saying. Like, the river actually flows under all of this, which is just, to me, that's really crazy. And then obviously we've gotten basically tube tunnels everywhere. We moved all of our housing over here along with food. We got corn rations, we got eggplant rations, soybeans. That's always kind of been an issue. Same with kohlrabies, and cassavas. And then we got water over there as well, but then we got the rainbow over here. Like, look at, oops. Can I zoom out? This is as far as I can go, but like, look at all of this. This is so much stuff that we have going on over here. So yeah, we've done a lot. We've worked a lot. We've gotten, trying to get my buttons right. Yeah, I'm very impressed with what we have going on, and especially we should still have more to go. And then we'll move this one whenever this one gets done. We'll move it right here and do the same thing and dig down, and then once this one gets done, I don't even know. We'll probably have to wait for a minute because this is the one that's plugged up, or move the power over here, get that one going, and then maybe build another one going right here. 'Cause like I said, I'd like to do something with water over here or something. Right now obviously the dirt's coming in clutch right here, so that's it's a very nice addition. And like I said, once we get this going, this will be such an amazing thing to have, because especially like this wasn't as big as what we got going on now. I think that's going to do it for this episode. This was a huge episode for me. We've started to get into like the nitty-gritty parts of this episode, or this series, where things take me a minute to build, play, all that other stuff. You're seeing an hour. My wife is not literally attempted to kill me, but like this is about 3 hours worth of gameplay, maybe 4 hours worth of gameplay, and that's not even like the editing. This isn't me complaining, not at all. This is just like I just want to put in perspective of like if there's a pause or the long period in the video upload, that's kind of why. It's easier to get videos out when it's very cut and dry. There's an objective, get past the drought, or we're building this, or we're doing this, or whatever. You get what I'm saying. But now we're getting to the builds where we're going to be building all of this. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a massive build right here. And so along with this and trying to get the logistics worked out to where it all makes sense and everything works is a chore on its own. So the videos are coming. Like I said, I got a full-time job and this isn't it yet. Hopefully one day we'll get there, but at right now, not it. So if you would, thumbs up, like, all that fun jazz, leave a comment, maybe post what your favorite episode was in this, or what you would like to see added. Maybe we can start covering this up and have like an underground lake type thing going on, and have like more farms and what have you across these, because obviously we don't need them to be open, but you get what I'm saying. So that's a thought that's crossed my mind, is just doing platforms across, but that would cut into our metal supply. Anyway, comment, like, maybe think about that subscribe button. I do appreciate all the love and support I get, and I will see you guys next time. Later.